My name is Ella, and I'm Dean. That is a combination of all my research in this program, and it's called Care Packets. For anyone unfamiliar with zines, they're self-published DIY, usually multimedia informative booklets, and they're made to be circulated and shared openly. So as my first formal audience when I'm talking to you about my research, I want to suggest a lens to help you better understand it. I fully understand the challenges of established structural realities. This project is not idealistic. The changes I discuss are actively happening. So I really want to encourage you to expand your mind from what you know in the regular daily systems that we've been taught and become accustomed to, and imagine the ideas of the zine without being influenced by these biases and preconceptions as much as possible. So just keep this in mind to keep your mind open. So these are the full contents of the zine, but since I only have a few minutes, I'm just going to talk about three from the whole zine, one from each section. What I want to the zine is that this concept of care packets has actually existed for a really long time and provide tools to identify such spaces and build them up. So one of the most notable examples of an influential historical solidarity food project is the Free Breakfast for Children program from Black Panther Party. In 1966, in Oakland, California, a group of young Black organizers formed the Black Panther Party, providing express supremacy in the U.S., in particular police brutality against Black people. For their free breakfast program, Panthers responded to the needs of their community and organized to collect food donations from local businesses and money from donors, and find buildings in the community with space, tables, and chairs willing to support their cause. The Free Breakfast for Children program quickly became a requirement for Panther chapters across the country, and during the years they were active, they fed an outsized amount of people in comparison to the federally funded school food program. Solidarity economy is a relatively new term for a movement that's been around forever. It is a growing movement which aims to protect against the harmful effects of an unregulated free market by operating on the values of cooperation, solidarity, and redistribution of wealth. In other words, building alternative systems within a capitalist world. The Greek roots of the word economy, oikos and nomos, mean home or community, and law or system of governance. So the solidarity economy movement takes this literal meaning of economy to challenge its common understanding. So rather than the conventional exchange of money, production, and consumption, it views humans as part of their environment, with the ability to collectively manage it for the benefit of all life. So living in a solidarity economy means always asking the question, how can people meet their needs together without focusing on profit making, and instead focusing on community, social justice, and democracy? Importantly, it involves recognizing the fact that living in a world where the dominant economic system is competitive and extractive does not mean that we cannot try to practice other ways of being too. The Playground Coffee Shop in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn is one example of a modern-day care cafe. And I just want to point out that this is one example of many I give in my scene, and out of countless more, that are imagining a world they want to see and actively building. Founded in 2016 by Bed-Stuy natives Sanat Begum in her dad's old hardware store, Playground started out as a cafe to make space in the coffee industry for people of color and to be a neighborhood community space. Since then, it's continued to adapt to whatever the community needs it to be. With a strong system of reciprocity based on trust and generosity, the community has supported the cafe, especially during COVID, when they were struggling to stay afloat, and Playground has supported them back. Solidarity economy practices that they've implemented into their regular operations include a sliding scale food menu, made with ingredients donated to a community fridge outside their shop, a new community fridge program, a greenhouse, a lending library, 3 workshops and event programming, and a community radio station. In an interview, Zanat said, as we move away from the normal idea of what it is to be in a restaurant, things have to be multidimensional in order for them to work. In New York, especially now, when something is just offering one singular service, it can lose a lot of its impact. The idea of Playground is that of a hybrid organization running a hybrid space within a multidimensional world. It's important to note that these transformative food spaces using solidarity economy practices do not just happen overnight. They are the product of years of organizing and working cooperatively, and learning and unlearning. They are the legacies of regenerative indigenous food systems, of Black farmer cooperatives, of suffragists, of Latin American labor activists, of Black women in the back of the kitchen in Mississippi Freedom School. They are part of the solidarity economy movement. That is to say, one cannot simply open up shop one day, come straight from corporate America and stop the care tab they sticker on their door as they add a sliding scale price off into their money. Even with good intentions, these spaces cannot work for their intended purpose if they're claiming to be something they're not, or if they don't know yet what they are. So I'm going to print my zine and distribute it at cafes wherever I go. I'll hand it out through the covered pop-ups that I organize and at zine fairs and events. People ask, who is my audience? Really, it's whoever picks up the zine and feels like reading it, but more specifically, it's anyone who trusts in their imagination. So I'm just giving 3 examples from my zine, but it's going to be available after May 15th, so if you want a copy, you can email me and just look out for it.